I'm Leo Walder for Kit Guru. This laptop here is an Alienware 13R3. The thing is that Alienware 13R3 covers a massive range of specifications. The most basic model has a Kaby Lake Core i5 GTX 1050 graphics and a 1366 by 768 TN panel. So nothing really very special whatsoever. The size of the screen is 13.3 inches on the diagonal. Now, this particular laptop is all about the display, and that gives us a problem because I'm seeing something that you almost certainly are not seeing, because this stuff has to go through a camera, be edited, be uploaded to YouTube, and then you're watching it on whatever the heck screen you're watching it on. So if you're watching it on a phone, or even if you're watching it on a high quality large screen, I don't quite know yet what you're going to see. But this screen is absolutely superb. And the reason is that it is an OLED display. It so happens the resolution is 2560 by 1440. It's the OLED, which is, if you think TN, think IPS, and then a whole new level of the blacks are truly black, the colours are truly wonderful. It looks absolutely stunning. The thing about the different specs of Alienware 13R3, so the basic TN panel has a brightness of 200 nits. There's a Full HD IPS which has 300 nits. This Quad HD OLED is 400 nits. So the screens, the panels, the specs, the technology, the brightness, the resolution, completely different from one model to the next. The hardware inside this particular version is Kaby Lake Core i7 7700HQ, and it's got 16 gig DDR4 2400 MHz, GTX 1060 graphics. I said this quite recently in a different laptop review. That spec is becoming the new normal. Right, this is now howling up. I'm going to reach over for the Kit Guru microphone, and I'll just put this by the exhaust vents, which are at the rear. And it's clearly audible. It's actually quietening down now. The fan curve in this is interesting because it's very smooth. So the fans don't kind of go bah, 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 bah. They ramp up, they ramp down. And the noise level now is what I'd regard as quite normal. A moment ago it was rather faster. It's not an excessively noisy laptop. GTX 1060 graphics, and that's actually really quiet. GTX 1060 graphics in a laptop are just a revelation, even in a very thin and light laptop. Not that this is particularly thin and light, but we'll get to that. So as I say, it's not especially thin and light, even though it would at first glance appear to be. And 13.3 inches you'd fully expect it to be. The thing is, the thing weighs 2.6 kilos, and it is 24 millimeters in thickness. I've recently seen a gigabyte laptop that's 20 mil thick, which is, thin by any standards. Closer to 2 kilos is really where you want a thin and light laptop to be, particularly one that's this small. So this is chunky and dense. Now, the reason when you're looking at this and it looks so small and you wonder where on earth the weight has come from is the cooling module hangs at the back of the screen. It's really quite peculiar. And this has a few consequences. So on the one hand, it means the heat gets away from the laptop quite easily, but it also means the laptop is deeper than you might first think. It also actually makes it very difficult to get inside the laptop properly. There's a hatch on the bottom you can very easily remove to get to the memory and the SSD. In this case, it's a 256 gigabyte Toshiba XG3 SSD, NVMe, all the good stuff, but small capacity, low capacity. But if you actually want to get deeper inside the thing, or indeed get to the cooling mechanism, and there's no reason why the end user would want to do that, but I like to do it, take photos. You can't do it without just taking the thing to pieces. It's nigh on impossible. This laptop does not deliver exactly what you first expect. You expect it to be thin, light, highly portable, perfectly competent performance. And while it has got good performance, it is not, to my mind, thin and light. And in actual fact, the extra depth to the chassis means you actually have to think of it in terms of, when you're carrying the thing, it's a 14 inch, possibly even 15 point something inch. You need a decent sized bag or backpack for this laptop. Total surprise. Also, the power brick is surprisingly hefty. So this is not an ultralight, ultra thin laptop. It's got a few bits and pieces built into it that are quite fun. So there's some Alienware software for controlling the lighting in the keyboard and the touchpad and such like. I actually found it rather annoying. Choosing a profile from the presets and then clicking it is one thing, but trying to actually have the thing do something a bit more than just show one standard color Surprisingly awkward. Really was surprised by that. Also, it tends to fade and go off very quickly, like the touchpad there, which obviously is a battery saving thing. But when you're putting such an emphasis on the bling factor, it strikes me it'd be sensible to have an option where you can simply turn off that power saving. But if the option is there, I cannot find it. Also, the folding the screen back to the horizontal, I don't begin to comprehend why that's possible. It serves no obvious function. If you could convert the thing and turn it into a tablet, I'm all for that, albeit a blooming heavy tablet. But just being able to fold the screen back doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Also, this is an expensive laptop. This particular version with the spec we've got is £1,849, including VAT in the UK, which is, there are many laptops at that sort of price, so okay. If you spec the thing fully, add more memory, add a terabyte SSD, the price becomes £2,500, which is just a blooming fortune for a laptop that has a standard processor and graphics and memory and storage. I mean, albeit a terabyte of SSD is quite a lot, but there's nothing particularly special. So this laptop comes down 100% to the screen. This particular version of this laptop comes down to the screen, and the screen is just a revelation. In fact, it's so intense, the colors are so wonderful that it's almost too much at times. When I look at the screen and I look at the color wheel in the Alienware FX editor and such like, it's all just absolutely remarkable. It makes me hope to goodness that the future of phones and laptops and TVs and monitors and everything is OLED, because if this is a taste of what they're about, then hurrah. So apparently the next iPhone's got OLED, hasn't it? Supposedly there are delays because of production problems. Well, if this is going to be the result, all I can say is wow. So as things stand, this laptop is thicker and more heavy than I would expect. It costs more than I would like to pay. The basic spec of this laptop is nothing special. This is a perfectly decent little laptop, but it costs too much for what you get. However, that panel there is absolutely delightful. Love it to bits. If this is the future, I'm signed up. If you like this video, thumbs up. If you don't, thumbs down. If you want more from Kit Guru, click to subscribe. I'm Leo Walder for Kit Guru. This is Alienware 13 R3.